Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lucie Rosa-Stagi, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Lucie's Inspiring Stories. What if the most important thing you could ever offer one another is simply to be seen, heard, and understood? Today's guest and I were in New York last week, and we weren't just co-authors, we were women sharing space, stories, and something much deeper, connection. My guest, Satie, has taken some of life's hardest moments and she has transformed them into a mission of healing, love, and purpose. So, with any further ado, let's welcome Satie. Hello, Satie. How are you today?
Woohoo! So lovely to see you and how nice to meet in person once again in New York City. That was amazing. Really, truly the art of connection. Yes.
Absolutely. I just enjoyed it so much. After everything we experienced in New York City together, what stayed with you most?
In New York City, it was the connection,
Mhm.
having this group of like-minded people together
Right.
in one room around that boat cruise scene, the Statue of Liberty for the first time for myself.
For
But
most people.
yes, and it was the human connection. And
Absolutely.
it really, really was. It was different from being virtual.
Absolutely. That connection is unbelievably strong. You can meet I mean, I've met people online. I've known them for 3, 4 years, but there's nothing like meeting a person in person. It's just a different experience. It's a different connection. And the greatest thing about it is that you feel like you know the person. You've known the person for a long time. Isn't that?
That is so true. And so virtual is because it's from the Zoom meetings, meeting up virtually. That is absolutely true because I've met a couple of people from another group that were there at the
Mhm.
Art of Connection. And there was no introduction needed. We just knew each other. We just clicked off, but it's a difference from touching and giving that person a hug and having that face-to-face smile, having that conversation in real time. It was really an amazing time and celebrating together in New York City, the Big Apple. Everyone wants a bite of the Big Apple. Times
Absolutely.
Square, the Globotron, celebrating our book, and we're from so many different backgrounds, so many different experiences. It was simply amazing.
Oh, you said it all. Really, was there a moment last week that reminded you why you do this work?
Yes, because at the bottom, at the end of the day, for
Mhm.
me, it's all about love.
Mhm.
And meeting in person, for example, and having that conversation with someone that I didn't have that face-to-face conversation before, and hearing parts of their lives and sharing my wisdom and knowing that you can pull on the heartstrings of that person in some way that it felt so wonderful that to make an impact of sharing love with that person and knowing that they matter, their story matter, their conversation matter. Yes.
Right. Oh my God. Now I know, Sadie, this is your second time on Lucy's Inspiring Story podcast, Inspiring Stories podcast. That's what it's called, Lucy's Inspiring Stories podcast. And oh, by the way, folks, if you missed the first interview in the chat, I will put the link to the very first interview that we had. But today, I really want to explore, not only your journey, Sadie, but how you are now helping others experience that same transformation through your retreats. And that's really where I want to focus today, because at what point did your personal journey turn into creating retreats, for one thing?
Yes, because I was thinking, I've been an employee for close to so many decades, over 3 decades, a different career from tax and accounting to this intentionally purpose-driven. and there's X number of time left on Earth, I feel. And one way of impacting others, because it would be a win-win-win-win for, because I'm gaining also, and having a space where like-minded folks, where we can come together and have conversations, practice mindfulness together, and connected in this sort of way, knowing that we matter, our story matters, and it's all about love. And I think retreat is a great, great way of doing this. That way, they're away from their normal environment. We're
Right.
all away from, if we could, from our normal environment. And how amazing to be in somewhere where you immerse in nature and just a short spiritual vacation, you know?
Mhm.
So, yes, absolutely.
So my next question has to be why Colombia? What makes that setting part of the transformation?
Well, there's kind of a love affair in a way in Colombia. I have loved ones. I've traveled to Colombia when folks were not going over 2 decades ago, and it has to do with my brother. He had ventured to Colombia in Medellin a couple decades ago in a sabbatical, and I went to visit him and go, "What is it? Why are you here?"
Yeah.
And when I got there, there was something that it was so holistic, the environment from what I've seen. There's trees everywhere, the foods that you're eating, and the mountains are so close by.
And
And I thought,
peaceful.
yes, and I just thought, you know what? It's not a very difficult trip to make. It's easy traveling, easy to get away, good value for the dollar, and you are immersed in nature. I remember last year I was there up in the mountains, and the eggs, I swear the yolks were red.
Oh,
Those
wow.
little chicken running around, and it was so delicious.
I
Or
love it.
even going and say, you know what, you want to have some milk, and you can go to those. My brother has a friend that's got a couple of cows where you can actually go and get milk and
And have the experience, maybe. All
have
right.
right and have the experience. And you're in that environment, contemplative walking,
Yeah,
looking at the tree. That's the reason why. That's the
absolutely.
reason. Yes.
And you're right. Today, Medellin, Colombia is not so far away, and there are direct flights from all the big cities, so it's pretty easy to do. So let's walk our audience through the retreat from kind of the arrival to the departure. Okay.
Oh, well, so it's going to Medellin and it's a very easy travel.
Hmm.
And from the airport, it's literally like 45 minutes an hour tops to actually get up to the mountain, 8,500 feet up. And it's cool up there. Like you need your fuzzy socks. But I think sometimes the clouds are right in your face, you know?
Mm.
And it's 5 nights, 6 days,
Okay.
where my folks have that time to be totally immersed in nature, where we'll be having conversation, discussions, mindfulness techniques, yoga, contemplative walking, gratitude, journaling, and another part, so that's what's going to be happening. 3 meals daily and transportation included. And what I'm excited about is the other half of it, it's bringing in my brother. He is such an expert. It's his passion, self-education, passion of physical modalities of healing.
Ah,
And yeah, and I just absolutely love it. For example, crystal bed. Like, what is a crystal bed? Well, I've experienced that in a remote area of Brazil for many years, and it's just so amazing having these crystals along your chakra.
oh, wow.
And those crystals along your chakra, and the experience that you have laying under these crystals on this bed. and having that beautiful music. And it's really, really healing, like what it does to the cell, what the crystals are doing to the molecules. But that's the part of my brother, and it's very exciting. And he's a shaman from Peru and well versed, and he's got there's going to be electromagnetic frequency healing techniques and detox program.
Oh, wow.
So it's some really amazing things that is attached there. And of course, there's free time because we need free time. I've been on a mastermind before in Tybee Island, and we got there and we want to talk, we want to, talk about each other's life, we want to
Right.
walk together. So there's time for privacy and quietness. Yes, it's very exciting. I'm very excited about it.
Can you kind of give us the feeling of how someone would feel like on day one versus the last day?
Oh, yeah, of course, because day one, we're all coming in with expectation and excitement. And plus, we still have, our lives are happening behind closed doors in our
Right.
environment. And here you are in this space, not sure what you're going to expect. So the first night, relaxing, having a wonderful dinner, and people are coming together. And the next day, where you're actually starting in the morning with mindfulness and having a yoga instructor there, wonderful music, getting into how you're going to connect to divinity. You know, it could be prayers, it could be some meditation, it could be just immersing in nature, having a contemplative walk-in, journaling, then breakfast, then parts of going to have this program with my brother as to what you would like to know energetically.
Yeah.
Like I know he does something with your body, like maybe this is maybe needs to tweak, maybe this needs to be tweaked, and we will be getting deeper and deeper as the days go by. It's not a long time because it's 5 nights, 6 days.
Right.
But by the end, you're going to feel so refreshed because you have that wonderful food and you have this consistency of doing these practices daily or experiencing that crystal bed. I mean, I have had amazing experiences, and each person's experience is different,
Absolutely right.
which different, yes.
So, they come cold from their everyday life and they don't know what to expect on day one. And by the last day, they probably don't want to leave, right?
Oh, I know, it's like that.
It's
Like
like
when yeah,
it's
even
like, oh
when
no, I have to go back to my ordinary life, so to speak. But anyway,
yeah,
they certainly go back refreshed, I'm sure. Could you
absolutely.
tell us who the retreat is for and who it's not for?
Well, the retreat, like my mandate is taking that journey, having the courage to take that journey to fall in love with the I within. So the discussions, the journaling, the mirror technique, the contemplative walking, these are tools with consistency and persistency to access or not awaken. It's there. It's just reawaken and re-remember. And so the retreat are for folks that feel that their lives need something at this time. Maybe it's stressful. They've been through a loss of some kind, a divorce, loss of a job, or just needs to be refreshed spiritually,
Hmm.
and mature woman, but it's for everyone. But my target is mature woman. And yes, that's who the retreat's for.
Okay.
Feeling a lack of something and just we need to re-energize. Like we go to the sauna, we need to re-energize. So if you want to re-energize in a different way
Right.
and you know connect within.
And it's
Like,
not for, people who just want to go and be a tourist
no.
and
No, not just for tourists. There could be folks that are curious because I'm sure by the end of the retreat, that curiosity will be quenched. But it's not a tourist. Like I know with this retreat, like time permits, of course, this beautiful pieces that you could add into the package of touring somewhere.
Right.
But the
Before or
men
after, right? Before or
before
after.
or after, or if there's time, like maybe a trip somewhere in between. That way they have a little break of something else. But it's definitely connecting with them. Like when I go to Brazil on my retreats there in this remote area, oh my God, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And so I know I don't want to leave. And I know when I first start going, we don't know what to expect. And we have some nervousness. And and then at the end, I'm begging like somewhere, like if I'm meant to stay longer, like let me stay.
Yeah.
That, you know.
So I find it interesting. You yourself go on retreats to Brazil, but you bring people on retreat into Colombia. And that's simply because you have a home place in Colombia. Your brother is a shaman. He helps out with your retreats, and he's a good part of your retreats because he does a lot of modality and healing and different healing modalities, right? Is that what I'm understanding? Yeah.
Yes, and it's very easy to go to. I'm familiar with that part of the world, and we have good value for the dollar. It's easy to get to. My brother is there. He's trained well. He's passionate about what he does. It's maybe his purpose.
Hmm.
And my brother took me to Brazil 20 something years ago for spiritual and physical modality of healing. He got something too. I got something and he got something. I believe he found his purpose. And I found well, I strengthened my purpose on the crooked path, So yes, and uh, I'm very familiar with Colombia.
Okay, so that makes so much sense. So could you maybe talk to us about some breakthroughs that you've seen women experience in your retreats?
Well, my retreats are fairly new, but breakthroughs are coming out feeling just revived. Really,
Oh,
really, it's
sorry.
some sort, really
Sorry.
feeling peace,
Mhm.
feeling that sense of quietness. There's a quietness within. There's no television or radio,
Right.
and there's that, or feeling that strength, that self-esteem, reawakening self-esteem, reawakening, having confidence. Maybe there's something that you're dealing with, and you're returning back with that confidence that I can handle this.
Right. Gives you
Yes,
strength, in other
it's
words. Yeah. Gives you strength
exactly
and self-confidence. Okay.
self-confidence and feeling loved. Like, I mean, we're all loved.
Right.
It's inherent. We're born with that, but we forget about it, including myself. What I know now, had I known in my 20s and 30s,
Right.
wow, it would have been a different, who knows, maybe it would have been a different path.
Aside from there's no TV, the food is different, the culture is different. What happens there that can't happen at home?
Well, you can connect within at home too. Of course, we can connect within to our divinity. This is just a space that we're created in a different environment
Hmm.
where we could all come together. We could go to Bahamas and have a retreat. You go to Costa Rica. I'm choosing, like, if someone wants to go and they want to be in this country that's advertising now. I see a lot of advertisements now about Medellin. There's a lot of foreigners going there, and you want to be out, but I feel you don't need to be somewhere else to connect within. But they're enhancements. Like when I used to, like in my remote area in Brazil, for example, wow, the environment is so conducive. But
Right.
I connect from home also.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
but I guess I think, especially for women, since the niche for you is women, over a certain age, mature women, the fact that they get away from their everyday life is really kind of very important for them to have a different experience, certainly a spiritual experience, so that, it doesn't get all tied up together, kind of thing. Would that be?
Oh, yes. And then there's so many things we could learn because there's just, for example, my mom is in Colombia and she's Canadian. She, lives in Canada and part in Colombia for physical alternative modality of healing of Parkinson. And she's doing pretty well there. She's feeling a lot better uh, spiritually and mentally, and maybe would love to have more physically. But a lot of people are going the alternative ways also for healing.
Yeah.
It's not maybe very well promoted in maybe North America. That's what I'm exposed to. But if you're interested in experiencing something different and other modalities, this retreat is for you.
So, when is your next retreat coming up?
Well, the next retreat will be in spring, summer, so June.
May and June.
Yeah, like around that time, and I can be like, yeah, that's when the next retreat's gonna be.
And if somebody feels called, what should they do?
Well, they can contact me via my email, which is Satie, Satie, Simon at gmail.com. Also on my website, which is it's with a its allaboutLove.ca. I believe it has a part there that you can send an email. And also there's a website, my brother's website, which is Casas, CASAS, de healing.com.
Casas de Healing. Day,
Right.
D-A-Y, or just the letter D,
Just DE. So Casas, CASAS, plural with the S,
right?
de
Okay.
healing.com.
Casas
Simple
de
way
Healing.
is sending a Gmail, sending me an email. It's just a
But
simple way.
we will make sure that we have all of the information for Sadie and her brother in the replay for sure. So, but we'll make sure that all that information is there. So, what would you say to the woman watching this and who's kind of hesitating right now?
Take the plunge. We deserve it.
Take
We
the plunge.
deserve it. Like women go through a lot. Oh, there's over 50% population women around the world, and there's just so many things that are going on. We need to band together. Take the plunge.
I love that. So, if there's one message you want every woman listening to remember, what is it?
It's all about love. And we are loved and we are loved. We're royal. We're loved so much. And let's connect. It's within, it's there. It's that quiet space, that divinity within. You are loved. You are royal. You are worthy.
Okay, great. So, for the person who doesn't want to wait for the replay, again, the fastest way to reach you would be with Satie Simon, Satie,
Yeah.
Satie Simon, Simon, at
Yes. Gmail.com.
gmail.com. That's folks, that's really easy. Sadie Simon at gmail.com. If you can't wait for the replay and all the information we're going to put there, then do contact Sadie immediately. So, and if you want to know more about Sadie, then in the information, I will also put the the first interview so that you can get to know her a little bit more also. So now, because it's the end, we know it's all about connection and not perfection that changes everything. So, retreats are perfect for that. Do you have any last words that you want to, say? I want you to have the last word on this podcast.
Love.
Love, love and connection.
Love and connection.
Okay, so thank you so very much, Sadie, for your presence today. You're an awesome, yeah, I loved our connection in New York City. I know we will be close friends forever. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Lucie's Inspiring Stories, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for having me. Big appreciation.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.